All right, in this podcast, I sit with Thomas Bizet and Omar Ruiz, two new agents in our sales team that have been in the company for over 2 years. Thomas was in our call center. Omar was in property management. Let's learn a little bit about their history, how they got started in the company, and why they transitioned into sales and how their journey has gone so far. Take a listen. Yeah, so earlier I was recording a podcast on Zoom, and he was in England. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it was 9 o'clock in the morning for us. So I connected with him like 5 years ago, and he sold a 250 million pound house, the largest single family home sale recorded maybe in the world. Well, some crazy, insane. Is that amazing?
Yeah, I'm going to look at that podcast.
Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thomas, Omar, you guys are two newer agents. We have a lot of new agents, but I wanted you two on specifically because you're younger and you come from different backgrounds. And so why don't we start us off with Thomas on the end. Where do you come from?
Well, I'm originally from France, so I moved to Latin America when I was about 14. Spent a few years just studying and surfing mostly. Yeah. And then I arrived to Cabo San Lucas, I believe it was 2 years ago, so at 21. And I started to get into real estate with Ronival back then.
All right. So you've been working with us for the past 2 years, and you moved at 14 to Latin America in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And you moved from Costa Rica to Cabo. Why make the move?
Well, I mean, really, I was in a spot, I believe in 2021 was still a little bit of the COVID situation happening. I didn't know where to go. I didn't really feel like I tried online school. It didn't go well for me. So I just decided I'm going to get into sales and I'm going to learn how to sell. And actually, a funny story is how we met through my family that wanted to do some business down here. Yep. And so we were on a Zoom call, and I was with my dad to be the translator at this point. And so we talked, and I remember you talking to me being like, well, if you're going to be real estate, why not come to Cabo? And that's the first time that I hadn't thought about leaving Costa Rica. Really. Right. So, yeah, and then just arrived here a few months later and started to understand what was going to be the move for me then.
Did your mom and dad move here?
They are here since November, actually. So they're going to do a little bit of trips off and on to sell the resting of what they have to sell in Costa Rica. Right. Which they still have an hotel, I believe. And then they're going to move here full time and start building and purchasing lots.
Okay. And your sister moved here already, or
she arrived 5 days ago.
Really?
That's really funny, yes.
Is she living with you, or where's
she's living with me for now?
Okay.
So yeah, with her boyfriend.
All right. Well, that's got to be interesting.
It is interesting.
Don't you have a roommate?
I moved from, I was living with Danny de la Peña from property management for a few months. And when I learned that my parents wanted to move down here, my sister might come over, I decided to get something a little bit bigger and with more space for them to arrive. So that's when I did the move back in October of last year.
Omar, where do you come from?
Yes, sir. I was born and raised in Guadalajara, Jalisco, up until the age of 16. And then I just decided to go on vacation. I had graduated high school in Mexico. And as a graduation gift, I was offered to visit Chicago. But then again, a 2-week vacation turned into a 5-week vacation. Then I found out I was able to re-go to high school and then graduate high school in the States. They took all of my credits from my prior high school in Chicago. So a 5-month vacation turned into a 8-month vacation. And I just concluded my high school studies there. And I said, all right, time to bounce, time to go back to the crib. And then I got an offer for college at Morning College in Cicero, Illinois. And I said, do I go back? Do I stay? And I said, let's give it a try. Let's do 1 month, 2 months, a semester. Let's see how it goes. But then I started getting involved in extracurricular activities. I joined some clubs. And at the very end, I ended up getting a full ride. I graduated as a college valedictorian. And pretty much I just got like a whole ride. I got my graduation in place, and after that, I just thought about staying there for good. But then for strange reasons, I had to be back here in my homeland. I was there on a tourist visa.
Okay.
So I had overstayed my visa. I didn't want to lose all of my progress, so I just decided to stay there, finish up college, and then for X or Y reason, here I am back again. But nothing was lost.
Okay. Yeah. Did you graduate at Mooring College?
I did graduate.
Okay, with a degree in what?
With an associate degree in arts, with a major in psychology and a minor specialty in philosophy.
Oh, wow.
So every now and then I have some existential crisis.
And then when you moved from Chicago back to Mexico, did you come to Cabo?
No, I went straight to Guadalajara, Jalisco. I do have a brother here that he does wedding photography for almost 20 years now. And
who's your brother?
His name is Bernardo Martinez. Look him up in social media. And pretty much he's like, come over. I mean, you've got the language. You learned English. This is like a very good place of opportunity. So I just came to visit. And I did some concierge work, actually, at one of the properties that we are selling right now with Ronival. I don't know if you know Prana del Mar.
Yeah.
So that was...
Oh, you worked there?
I did work there as a concierge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that was my first job here in Cabo, but it was kind of like a testing ground for me.
Right.
So it's only seasonal during high season, and then it closes out. So I came to explore, to visit. I got in touch with the culture. I got in touch with everything in Cabo, and I said, all right, maybe it's not for me. So I went back to Guadalajara. I gave it a try with some call center jobs. Like I tried to be more fancy, you know?
And working in office.
Working in office.
Corporate
kind of
in
like,
Mexico.
Yes, corporate, and just kind of like work my way up. But then I kind of like hit a wall, like I hit a ceiling. And then I said, is this really what I want? And my second visit to Cabo San Lucas with my brother, it just clicked. Like I saw like all the people, like not just property management and real estate wise, but everything wise. This is like a very it just gives you too much. There's so much to do. There's so much to make, and the sky's the limit here in Cabo more than anywhere else in Mexico.
What year was that?
This was about 3 years ago.
Okay, so 3 years ago, you come back for a second time after doing a small stint working at Prado del Mar, and you said, I'm going to move here.
Yes, and still, I went back to Prado del Mar, which I totally fall in love with, and you know the sunsets. Sunset, they're unreal, and it just started growing on me. And then from Prado del Mar, I heard the news that it was gonna go into sale, so I kind of like started looking elsewhere, and somehow I ended up dropping by with the office. I still had my uniform from Prado del Mar on when I parked into Ronival, and I just seamlessly went in. I met Danny. He was on the desk. And I'm like, hi, I came for the vacant position of property management. He's like, all right, did you saw us somewhere? Like, what did it? And I just saw it somewhere. I came here, and here I am. Like, this is my resume, and I just got a call back a couple of weeks later, and the rest is history.
So you worked in our property management office as a property manager. As
a property manager, I was overseeing over 27 properties for a little over 2 years. And from then on, I learned everything on the property management side of things. But I kind of like started noticing how real estate gives very good opportunities to people that have like, ¿cómo se dice? Labia.
Oh, just a good talk with people, just a good connection,
just good talk. Like
social.
Yeah, social, being friendly with people. Like we would get guests all the time from all over the world. And like, here, come check it out. Like, it was just the thing for me, and I think that if I'm able to polish those skills, I'm gonna do great things here in Ronival with all of your support.
So you've transferred from property management to the sales side, and how many months ago was that?
This was about 2 months ago.
2 months ago, and
2 months and a half.
I remember hearing about it last year that you were planning to make this transition, and yes. I thought this could have been a greater thing, to see someone grow in one department in the company and then go into another department.
True.
and not to lose the talent in that way. And so it's been 2 months so far.
It has been 2 months so far. And
what's it been like?
It's been challenging.
In what way?
In the way that not only in Ronival, but I think in real estate overall, the first year it's the toughest for everybody starting off from scratch. However, with all of the resources, with all of the previous experience from property management, and I just feel like it's getting there. And once it does, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it, and not only work in the real estate business, but also be the glue between the two departments. Because in property management, I can say this from the bottom of my heart. I know that Ronival Property Management, it's the leading property management company here in Los Cabos. But
how can you say that?
Because I've worked alongside with some other property management agencies, and I know what they lack and what we have. And we just have like a top of the line team. We have a top of the line resources for us to kind of exploit all of these things. And I wish I can be like the glue between both departments. Now having the property management side and the real estate side, I think it's just dynamite and gasoline.
So 2 months, and you were just saying you just got your first listing.
I just did this morning. I just got like a really good news from one of our clients at property management. They did agree to list their property, and so you're gonna be hearing a lot from me soon. I'm gonna be posting some videos. I'm gonna be doing just the branding, and all the good stuff.
Cool. And you've gone through the Ronival University, and you're learning on the platform, and also attending meetings, open houses, the coaching sessions.
Meeting, open houses, coaching sessions, like close personal sessions with not only you, but all the other agents. I get a little bit of their perspective. I take what's helpful for me, and it's shaping little by little. I'm truly excited.
Perfect. So Thomas, let's go back 2 years ago when you joined us. Remind me, were you a sales agent to begin with, or did you join our ISA office?
Actually, the ISA office kind of came up in a way that I wasn't expecting. I was coming to Cabo to be a realtor, a real estate agent. My family had multiple real estate agents. I was raised into the area of that kind of job. So when I arrived here, it was my main goal to go into that side.
Right.
Then there was a position that opened up at the ISA, and since I had been working for the past few weeks with ISA to learn all the ins and outs of Cabo and the real estate market, I actually was proposed to stay in the ISA for a few months. And so I did. I stayed for a few months, then went back out as a realtor. But during that time frame, I didn't have the financial capacity to be able to really fulfill my part as a realtor and live off on not having a salary. So it was a little bit rough to figure out what was the right measurements. And I remember going to Villa La Favorita, one of the first open houses we did there in Pedregal. And you told me that there was still a spot at the ISA if I needed a little bit more time.
And just so for those that don't know, ISA, we use that
ISA, internal sales agent.
Right. It's the call center.
Basically the call center of Ronival, the part where all of the interested leads that come from the pages that we have come to us, and they ask questions and they wonder about properties, about roles, how to purchase in Mexico, what kind of paperwork we need. And so we explain that from the beginning to the end, and we make them have a smooth transitioning into finding their property with the agent that they're going to get assigned to.
So you warm up the lead, so to speak, and then you hand it off to a licensed real estate agent on the Ronival team to go ahead and find the property.
Depending on what kind of property they're looking for in the area, that's how we decide basically who will be the best match for them.
Right. And so we were at that open house in the Pedregal, and I said that the opening was still available, and you took it.
I took it. I stayed 1 year in the internal sales agent team with Andrea. And after being for a year there, getting financially stable and learning more than enough, and I believe I still have a lot to learn in that regard, but everything that there is about the market, everything that there is about prospecting and following up with my leads, what they need. Every question that a lead can ask me, I've heard it 100 times over. So I believe that in that sense, I can give a very good follow-up for that regard. And well, you mentioned that we are one of the youngest people in the agency, and I believe that to be a strength. We have so much energy and ambition to go towards that. I mean, being a realtor, I will probably give twice more hours as I did when I was in the ISA, but it's good.
Well, and then you don't have preconceived ideas as to how things should be done. If you were selling real estate for 20 years and you came and tried to learn our model, it'd be very difficult to do so.
Great.
Right?
Yeah, we're a brand new canvas.
But why would you trust the program and what the training that we have? I mean, understandable, you don't have the real estate sales experience, but why do you trust what I'm telling you?
After living in Cabo and working with Ronival for 2 years, 3 years for you, we have worked and talked to many agencies and many agents inside and outside of Ronival. And we don't need to give any names to know that Ronival team has a lot of newcomers that are either new or have only sold a few properties before joining the market. And some of these people, after the training, have become one of the most successful that we've known here. Yeah.
So true. So true. And soon to be the both of you.
Hopefully.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and what's there not to trust? I mean, again, we're not going to say any names, but just all the resources, like, they really dazzled me. All the resources available that Ronival gives to their agents, it's like you're giving them not a sword, you're giving them Excalibur. Like all the coaching sessions, like all the open houses, all the events, all the private little meetings, they have a purpose, and it's to sharpen your axe. And every time I go into the resources that Ronival has to offer, it's just like, wait, this guy is that guy, and he's just giving us like all this information and
for free.
Just like that. I mean, it's information. It's
but
there.
For you guys, it's for free, right?
Yeah,
if you take that knowledge and you put it to practice, I mean, that's where the rubber hits the road.
It's a huge gold mine for us, and well, we've been in the agency for a few years. We know who people are in the surroundings. I mean, you know everyone in property management, most of the agents. So that definitely helps you into, I have a question, who might be the best person that I can ask?
Right. That's really knowing who has the answer.
Yeah.
Correct. And everybody's kind of like, some other places I've seen them, they're like the Lone Rangers. They're kind of like just to themselves. But here in Ronival, every single one, every time you ask something, is like, hey, what you need? Where are you at? What are you doing? Like, everybody just kind of like gives you that push, and that really speaks a lot about the foundation of the company.
Well, it's a part of the culture, right? To give. The more you give, the more you receive, right?
So,
yeah.
So, Thomas, now that you're a sales agent, because you made the transition a month ago?
April 15th, so 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And what have you been doing the past 2 weeks?
So within 2 weeks, I had a few leads, clients that I've been working with for a few months now.
Yeah.
That after leaving the internal sales agent team wanted to keep contact with me since I had been with them for so long. So most of it was trying to find out how I can help them, what I can find for them. In this case, I'm thinking about one of my specific clients, which was looking to purchase a home down here or a condo. In the end, ended up deciding to sell their lot. So I'm doing all the paperwork to list the lot right now. Right. It's a lot in Rolling Hills. Yeah. Very nice view also. So I'll put that on the on the website right now. But
stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's just trying to reach out to the people that I've helped for some months and see what else I can give to them and how can I follow up the best way.
And that's a client that you're going to list one property, maybe 2 properties?
Indeed, yeah. They have they're closing in on a condo that they purchased at the beginning of the year, which is the reason why they contacted me in the beginning. They wanted some information about the condo in itself, and after giving them a little bit more details and about taxes and how they can not go around it, but kind of use it to their favor, they decided that they wanted to keep contact with me just because of the sheer information that I was giving them.
So because it was a part of your job description as an inside sales agent, you had to have the knowledge base to be able to talk to the people that were coming into our system.
Definitely.
And you provided good value information, and that transitioned very well into becoming a sales agent.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, as long as a realtor, as a real estate agent, if you have good communication skills and you're given the hours, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah. And what I like to hear is listing. And those are going to be your first deals, is getting listings. And there's a saying in real estate, list to last. And that can't be more true. Our top sales agents tend to be the agents that list properties. It's more difficult to list properties.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if it's more difficult to list and be successful listing, then working with buyers is a sitch.
True.
So, you're sharpening your axe on the hardest part of the business, which is listing properties. So you're on the right track, Omar.
Feels like it.
So what are some of the things that you're excited about the rest of the year? We're not even halfway through the year. You haven't sold anything yet.
No.
You haven't sold anything yet, right?
Ideas.
Right?
So far.
And you're talking to people, right?
Yeah.
So
every day. You're
talking to people every day. Are you scheduling appointments with these people?
It's not as easy to get an appointment right off the bat, but sometimes you need to work the clients for a bit, let them know that you're there no matter what.
Right.
And not being invasive overall, not trying to help them on the long run. And if they have a question, answer them, make sure to always follow up. And then you do the listing appointment. I mean,
setting an appointment?
Like setting up an appointment.
Well, scheduling.
Scheduling an appointment. That's
But here's the thing. Appointments take all different flavors, right? It could be a listing appointment, but an appointment can be your next phone call, your next Zoom call, your next email that you send to them. That's an appointment. A to-do in your CRM system is an appointment.
Okay.
So you're setting appointments every day.
Oh, pretty much. That's
right?
Easy, yes.
Yeah. It's conversations, setting your to-dos, going to your now board, who's active in your CRM system. Those are people that you're going to want to pay more attention to, We
need to be very smooth with every single client, and mostly because everyone is different. So everyone needs to go at their own pace. And for example, right now I have a tour this Saturday. I'm going to go to Cerritos and show a few properties there. But last week I had 2 other tours with the same person that was looking for a condo here in Tesal, in Duara. And they're actually thinking about purchasing it. So we sent in Spanish, it's called Intención de Compra.
Yep. A letter of intent.
There you go. Yeah.
LOI.
So yeah, I mean, it's advancing. I don't know if the sale is going to happen right now. I don't know if it's going to happen ever. But I believe that giving just the hours and giving good follow-up to your clients will lead to them trusting you and then giving you the job.
Great. And what is your goal by the end of the year? How many transactions do you want to have?
So I know many agents. Some of them tell me that they would be fine selling 4-7 properties a year. Others tell me that I need to sell 1 every 2 weeks. It depends of what you want to do, basically. Some of them are maybe a bit too high, too low. In the end, I fix my goal as I want to pass on. Ronival has this level for each agent. So a newer agent will come through as a level 3. Yeah, there you go. And then level 2 and 1, and the commission split is different for each level.
Yes.
So my goal is just to get to the next commission split as soon as possible.
How many transactions is that? I don't know.
5.
5.
I believe.
Okay, so 5, you want to get through 5 transactions.
5 transactions within the year. Yeah.
Okay. Omar, have you thought about this?
I have. And some people say if on your first year you do 2, you're lucky. But I was going to say 5, but until you mentioned like the level up, I just thinking 5 would be a very solid number. However, sky's the limit. But I've learned that we need to set realistic goals. So right now my realistic goal is 5, and my unrealistic goal is as many as I possibly can.
Who do you think is going to have more transactions by the end of the year? Thomas or Omar?
Is that a question for
William? You too.
Let's
a little friendly competition.
I have no idea, to be honest.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. Actually, here, Thomas was one of my senseis when I first started in the ISA, because all of the newer agents, they need to go through the ISA. I've seen Thomas working beforehand, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be bigger in numbers in so many ways, because I've seen you work beforehand. Just like I was telling you a little bit earlier, like Thomas is a machine. He has been very diligent with his phone calls. Like, at some point when I'm about to make a phone call, I get like a little nervous. So what they're going to say, what they're going to do. But Thomas, he's just like, hey, how you doing? Are you coming into Cabo anytime soon? Like, he's got this flair. And at some point, if something goes wrong, he's like, he doesn't take it personally. He doesn't dwell on it. Boom, next. Let's keep going. And he already has that experience, which I have learned a lot from you in. And I'm pretty sure you're going to do great. We're going to do great.
We're going to do great. Yeah. I've seen the best teams, the best agents in the agency are usually teams that try to work in duos.
Yeah.
And I believe that having someone that you can trust and that will be able to back you up when you can't handle a client to go to a house or something is very important in the agency. So Omar is someone that you can definitely have your back, basically. Right. He's been in the agency for more years than I did. He knows as many or more people than I do. So, and I know that he's available and he has all the energy to do everything that he needs to be doing here. So
yeah, because the couple of years in property management, how many guests did you greet and meet?
Wait, thousands.
Yeah, so much like you making phone calls or talking to people on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And how easy it is to interact. He has you beat on that.
Definitely.
But you haven't beat on the phone or in
the phone is
prospecting.
It's particular, the phone. I mean, we use it a lot here in Cabo because Cabo is a lot of purchase and buyers that are outside the country.
Right.
But anywhere else wouldn't be the same. I mean, the phone is really useful for us here. I believe that in any other part where you have your purchasers, buyers, sellers that live in the same area as you do, it's a little bit easier to go around that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We're fortunate to be a second home market that a lot of people want to own a second home. And so unfortunately, they don't live here and they have to come here. And so having to make phone calls or sending text messages or sending emails, it's a big part of it.
It's the hardest part of the job.
No, and so what you'll find, though, is when you start interacting in person with them, it takes on a whole different element that Omar has a lot of experience that he could teach you.
Definitely.
Yes. At first, I would check a lot of guests into the properties, show them around, tell them how we work. But I wish I would have known a little sooner how the real estate industry works so I could take more advantage of the opportunities when checking people in. Yeah. However, my focus was always just raise property management. And what I was telling you that when I want to be the glue between the both departments is with all the information that I have right now, I'm quite positive it would make a huge impact while I was working in property management. But now that I know this, I'm pretty sure we can implement some training programs for all of our fellow property management friends, and everybody can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And just sky's the limit.
In the same way that we have trainings on the property management and vacation rental side for agents, when they come in the agency, they need to know all about Ronival to be able to give the best help to their clients.
100%. I think there are so many elements within the company that we can cross-train each other.
Absolutely.
Property management to sales, sales to property management.
Yeah.
Right? Well, guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for telling us a little bit about your early real estate sales experience. I look forward to seeing you in about, 7 months from now at the end of the year to see what you've accomplished.
Sounds good. Right. Thank you very much.
Good luck on your listings.
Sounds good. We're going to
All right, guys, if you want to work with one of these two exciting new agents in Ronival Real Estate, Thomas Bizet Omar Ruiz. And there are two newest agents here at Ronival Real Estate. Many more agents are joining us. If you're an agent out there or an aspiring agent, contact us at work@ronival.com. We're always hiring new agents, property managers who want to be agents in other agencies, or someone that is in customer service that wants to get into real estate sales. Until the next one, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronival Real Estate, and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronival. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronival.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.